Hi, beautiful souls. It's Sadhana, and I had a few minutes today, so I thought I would come on and share some cards with you. I received the Blue Messiah reading cards probably a couple weeks ago now, but it is definitely time to open them. I'm ready to have a new Oracle deck and just really intrigued with these cards, and so I thought we could look at them together. So these are the Blue Messiah reading cards by Nari. You can read her name there. Anastarsia. And this is a Rock Pool Publishing publication. This is a magnetic box. And I usually don't keep, if I'm going to be using Oracle cards, I don't usually keep them in these big boxes. I make bags for them. But I'm going to show you the box anyway. Here's the guidebook that's sitting on top. So it is, I'm assuming, one page. It's beautiful. Color guidebook. One page, full size card. Excuse me. And at the beginning of the book, there is some information on chakra reading, so some in-depth stuff here, which, as you know, is very much in alignment with my kind of thing that I like to do. There's a few other readings at the front. There's an introduction from the author. So the author is the author and the artist. So single person publication, which sometimes is really nice because the cards and the guidebook are from the same voice. And I'm just looking for the publication date. So 2018 publication. And I just like to read the dedication in the front of the book. Mother Earth's sacred cycle of transformation has begun. Embrace your authentic self and cultivate wholeness through the blue fire of purification and transformation. Through self-illumination, compassion, and unconditional love, let us open gateways to transcendence. That's lovely. I believe I saw this deck on the Truth and Story on one of the chats, and so that was my inspiration for purchasing this deck. So thank you, Kelly. This is a really nicely bound book. It is it's sewn, so the spine is not going to crack, which is really nice. If you use a guidebook frequently and it cracks open and you have to tape all the pages together, that's just so inconvenient. So the cards sit in the little well here, and there's a little hole to lift out the cards. I'm not sure if I looked at these once or not. I may have, because they're not, doesn't appear that they're in order. So let's just have a look at them. Okay. They're big enough that I just have to, okay. All right, so let's have a look at the cards. You can see they're numbered, and there is a title and not too much writing, which is something that I really look for in Oracle cards. I don't like it when there's too much information on the cards, because then that takes away from the opportunity for an intuitive message. So here we have life purpose. And this could be the sun, this could be the moon, this could be a combination of sun and moon energy. It's a really simple card. We'll do one reading at the end, and I'll read from the guidebook as well as share with you how I intuit the keyword and the image, false god. Really being authentic. This is something that comes up a lot, as you know. So as some of you know, I work in this metaphysical store a couple times a week, and I do readings in this room where I'm sitting right now. And there are a lot of deities from various religions around the store, and that can be quite a journey in explaining to people what those are and how they are not religious idols or anything like that at all, but they are just aspects of self, and to how to look at them from a different perspective is quite a journey for some people. Magnetism. Beautiful. Authenticity. Taking off all those masks. Oh God, some of us just wear so many masks. Soul vessel. Sorry, I was going to say something, but then decided to pause. Evolution. Please let me know in the comments down below if you use these cards. And curious to know whether you use them in readings with clients or you just use them for yourself. Heart Compass. That's quite a special card. Energy exchange. This is really something I need to do more of. I actually don't even own a singing bowl, and I use bells for sure, but that's something I would like to do more of. I also was in a really magical store in Victoria, British Columbia, and they had crystal pyramids hanging all over, suspended from the ceiling, and those were amazing. I would love to have one of those crystal pyramids and be able just to ring that, to clear space, and to bring a room, to bring my house into alignment. Willpower. It's quite a relevant card. You know, this sometimes can be quite challenging for a lot of people. I mean, I know we do that in the Tarot Sphere here on YouTube. I have an opportunity to connect with like-minded people, but especially if you are stepping away for something you've been doing for a long time, and to connect more and spend more time with your soul tribe, this can be, quite a transformation, for a lot of people. Oh, that's beautiful. This too speaks very much to connection with plant, animal, universal energy, blue flame. She spoke to that in the dedication. My eyebrows are lighting up here. It's really interesting as I go through these cards. Usually it starts in my third eye and then spreads across my eyebrows, and then it feels kind of like I have a unibrow when my third eye starts to go, get activated. But it started in the eyebrows themselves, which is really unusual. It doesn't usually start there for me. Trust. Not Rainbow Bridge, Rainbow Body. I might have to look that one up. Nature's Wisdom. A lot of people are concerned about protection and creating an energetic shield, and it's just something that's never, I don't know whether I have somehow some kind of natural protection, but I've never had that experience of feeling invaded or feeling like, psychic attack or that kind of thing. I understand what it is, but I've never experienced that. That's gorgeous. Self-love. Just a few more cards here. It's quite a small deck. It seems like blue star. So we have blue fire or blue light, and then we have blue star. Sacred union. So these are quite lofty keywords. They may not be starseed. It might be a deck that you have to get quite familiar with to understand the nuances. Of course, any deck you can read intuitively, but if you kind of want to understand Nari's intention for each of these cards, might take some time to read through the guidebook a couple of times and really absorb and integrate what her intentions were for the deck. So small deck, easy to riffle shuffle, even though these are large oracle size cards. I would say about like 4 by 6 inches. Usually with an oracle or larger cards, I just riffle shuffle the corners and then push them all in. Card stock is, it's fine. Glossy cards. Those are the backs. And I can try to riffle shuffle, not from the corners, but when you get to 6 inches long, it gets kind of, it's harder. All right. So choosing, let's choose a message for today and just kind of lean into the energy of the Blue Messiah and the light and some, deep soul work. And so on your soul journey for the next couple of days, is there something that, really kind of needs to be addressed? Giving yourself permission, maybe, some part of this weekend, what's left of this weekend, to really kind of explore that energy and or revisit that energy. Maybe rescheduling something this weekend so you have time for yourself and for your soul self. All right, let's do it this way. Often the deck for me splits naturally. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, so the card is, oh, that's virtual fog. So, of course, being really mindful of electronics, of course, is the first thing that comes up. Just seeing those keywords, but look how peaceful she looks. And being, electronics are not all bad, and I think we need to remember that. There's a time and a place, there's space for sharing. A lot of people we can't be in touch with, we can't communicate with, other than through online chat or something like that. So there is a place for it, and a really beautiful place for it. So let's not forget that. But also, it is really important to limit the amount of this kind of energy and frequency, especially if you're working and developing your intuitive gifts and your clairs and things like that. We want to raise the frequency in our physical and energetic bodies, and so being around all these electronics isn't going to help with that. So this is number 35. It's super easy to navigate through the guidebook. So I'm going to read to you from the guidebook. Certain things catch your eye, but pursue only those that capture your heart. Old Indian saying. Just let me show you how this is set up. So she has the quote at the top, and then there is the message, and then down at the bottom. So this card refers to the solar plexus and the third eye chakra, and there's actually an exercise. The exercise is limit how much time you spend on technological devices and spend at least 20 minutes a day outside in nature. Invest in crystals and stones that absorb EMF, such as shungite. The affirmation is, I am awake and grounded in love, and I journey into the light of my soul. So here is the message from Nari Anastarsia. Within every soul is the natural desire to evolve and eventually ascend. But in this advancing In a logical world, it can be very easy to get lost in virtual fog. With an increase in electrical devices such as mobile phones, computers, VR goggles, and more, we are constantly surrounded by energy pollution made up of artificial electromagnetic fields, EMF. If you have been drawn to this card, stay conscious of your level of interaction with technology. Do your best to limit your exposure by limiting your time with electrical devices such as mobile phones. As much as you are electronically connected with the world, and as convenient as these devices may be, they can also cause energetic disharmony and sever your connections to spirit. So that's what I was saying. So they actually lower your frequency in order to connect with spirit, in order to have a high enough frequency so that we're not struggling with our clairaudience or clairvoyance and things like that. It's really important to do everything we can to raise the frequency, including the kind of foods we eat. So quite naturally, limiting electronics is really, really important. Your natural state is to constantly move towards the light. Your pineal gland recognizes artificial EMF as light and can often become confused between real organic light and artificial light. Stay conscious, dear one, as artificial light serves none other than to reduce the effects of your pineal, both physically and spiritually. It can cause confusion and disconnection from self. Now is the time to choose with all your heart which light you connect to. Okay, so definitely one of the easier cards to interpret, because it's something that most of us are very, very familiar with. I'm just going to take a moment and look at, well, let's go to the Blue Messiah. I'm not sure, that was one of the last cards that we looked at. Just out of curiosity, there was Blue Flame, which is probably about staying really focused at the center of yours at source, because it is the hottest part of the fire, which would be the place of transformation. And I can also look too to see if these are also in alphabetical order. Oh, and they are. So they're in alphabetical order and they're numbered, which is wonderful. So the Blue Messiah message, I'll just share a little bit with you here. So this is heart and throat chakra. The exercise is practice unconditional love and compassion to all, even those not aligned with your soul. So that's very important. The affirmation is, I am compassionate. I send unconditional love to all souls. I will continue to move forward courageously as I follow the true light of my own soul. I'll just read you a little bit here. The Blue Messiah represents the divine light of truth within you. Be discerning and trust your inner light and truth to guide you. Don't get caught up in the energy fields of judgment, anger, and fear which may be emitted from souls around you. Shine your radiant, loving light, dear one. It is only through your unconditional love and compassion that dividing walls melt away. So thank you for popping by. Short video today, but let me know if you're using these cards. And I know she has another deck as well too. So I welcome your comments and feedback on this deck and her other one as well. So thank you. Stay well, my friends. Namaste.